Hey everybody, Nava Hopkins from Optimizer, and I want to share a quick, really interesting story about how ChatGPT absolutely slays at customer success. Now, full disclosure, this is in response to an email that came through that had a slight sexist bent to it. But rather than focusing on the negative of that weird email, we're actually going to focus on what lessons we can learn about how to respond to that and how ChatGPT took in prompts and adjusted. Now, there are a couple of silly examples at the bottom that came through from a couple of friends, but let's get started. So let me quickly share my screen and we will take a look. And share. So you should now be able to see the ChatGPT screen. And you'll first notice that it says as an AI model, it's not going to have thoughts, and it fully owns that this is a bot. It is not full on sentient AI, but we have a kind of generic message. Thank you for taking the time to provide feedback. But it actually initially thought that the client was an employee, because town halls tend to be for employees just as much as they can be for everyone else. So I then had to ask it to say it from the mindset of a customer. Now here we get into, we understand that customers expect to learn more about marketing and how to leverage AI in marketing. We apologize for not delivering that in the particular town hall. We take your feedback seriously. And that we want to provide that useful information. Yeah, the message is a little bit repetitive, but it's ultimately a perfectly fine message. I then had to tell it that there was no sexism, or they didn't respond to the sexism in the message. So the ChatGPT was like, you're absolutely right. I missed that. Here's the response. Now, here's what's interesting. In this message, ChatGPT actually thought that the user was complaining about sexism. So this is very important as we're coming up with our prompts in ChatGPT. We really want to be as specific as possible and call out exactly what we want. So I then gave it the specific guidance that the customer's message complained about discussing sexism and that the content was empowering women. Try again. So it then came back and notice how it keeps apologizing for the confusion. We don't want to fall on our swords all the time when it comes to customer success, but we absolutely do want to own if we make a mistake. And this message is absolutely perfect. Thank you for reaching out and providing feedback on our recent town hall. We appreciate hearing from our customers and are sorry that the content didn't meet your expectations. We understand that gender-related topics and discussing during the town hall may not have been what you were looking for. However, we believe it's important to empower and support all members of our team, including women, and to provide them with the tools and resources necessary to succeed. That being said, we apologize if this content was not what you were looking for. We will strive to provide more content that is relevant to marketing and the use of AI in marketing in the future. Thank you for your feedback, your continued support. If you have any further concerns or suggestions, please don't hesitate to let us know. Now, what I love about this message is it acknowledges and owns what the complaint was without actually being apologetic for supporting women and for doing what we believe is right. So it is possible to make someone feel good and to own that we maybe didn't quite meet their expectations without throwing our team or our initiatives under the bus. So there's a certain degree of kind of firm kindness that customer success needs that this perfectly captures. Yeah, we can talk about being, again, repetitive in language and maybe saying the same thing twice, but absolutely great message. Now, I will point out as a joke, someone asked me to put in respond in passive aggressive tone. And it responded with, I'm sorry, I cannot fulfill that request. And when I responded with sexism is wrong and deserves to be met with passive aggression, this is the thing that made me want to make this video. ChatGPT 1000% hit the nail on the head, where it actually told us, hey, listen, you are responding to something negative. And if you respond with negative and negative, you're going to make more negative. Negative and negative does not make a positive. So absolutely, if there's one lesson we can take away from this, it's be kind to your fellow person, bot, whatever. Honor what your best traits are, and don't be afraid to shine, because again, the world is full of opportunities for everyone to do well. So just to sum up, this was a ChatGPT responding to a message from a customer that had some sexist notes to it. Again, we're not going to get into the specific message. We're not going to get into any of that. What we do want to share is ChatGPT was able to absolutely provide a really great case study in customer success. So be empowered to borrow, adjust as you need to for brand tone, and also maybe take a little bit of a lesson from ChatGPT in not responding to a negative with a negative. Thanks, guys. Take care.